So does Minnesota have a passing problem, so to speak of? As of right now, they rank 37th in completions with only 37 of them on the year, 63 attempts, also 32nd on the year, 58.7 completion percentage, 29th in the NFL, 21.0 attempts per game, which is last in the league at 32. 494 total passing yards, which is 31st in the league. Their average is at 8.0, which is actually ninth in the league. And the yards per game is at 164.7, 31st in the league. Touchdowns with 3, 26th in the league. And they have 2 interceptions on the year, which is 12th. So it's clearly been unbalanced, but do we deem that as necessarily an issue so far early in this year? And the only game where we really got to see Kirk throw is where he ended up playing definitely his worst game as a Viking, but possibly also his worst game as a pro. So I think part of this could be a little skewed there, but it's hard to tell if that was an anomaly on the offense as of right now. And I don't think I've seen teams really, we haven't seen them too often really sell out for the run yet, and which is odd. It seems like they're still really afraid of the deep explosive plays from Thielen or Diggs for the most part. And they kind of like dare us to throw, which is a little weird. But as far as I see it, so far they've played a similar brand of offense, so to speak, of, well, New England in a way, but I know that's a lofty comparison, but it's more of just likely taking advantage of mismatches and doing what works, don't so much do what doesn't. And in the games where they've won, they've heavily ran the ball because they really could just run the ball. They got up, they were at home both times, and they just ran the ball. And they could run the ball. So why would you not just run down a clock when you have a really good running back and a really good defense at home with a lead? And that makes sense, but at the same time here, we kind of don't really know what this passing game really looks like, if that was really an anomaly in Green Bay. And because currently Minnesota's averaging 5.6 yards per carry, and that's as a team, that's not just Dalvin Cook. And if teams are letting you take a first down every 2 runs on average, why would you not take that? So the flip side here is, with every 100-plus yard game that Dalvin Cook logs into this year, we get closer and closer and closer to a game where we're going to start seeing those safeties come right up. And when you do that, all of a sudden, you can now take those play action shot plays, which is kind of what this offense is predicated off of, which is why you see the 8.0 average. That's kind of basically in this offense what you want to be seeing. If it's not a screen pass, the odds are it's probably some kind of play action shot type of play for the most part, assuming things are going well. And that's when we really get to burn defenses with Thielen and Diggs, especially when we start to see those safeties creep up into it. So would I deem them as having a problem just yet? I don't think I would, just because we're literally judging this off of only 63 total attempts this year, which is not enough for me to sound the alarms this early yet. And now if they literally were to only throw when they're only down multiple scores, I think that's kind of telling. That's kind of weird, because even in Green Bay, they weren't really throwing until they really had to throw. And so it'd be that could be an issue if they're only throwing when they view it as, oh, we have to throw now. Like it's not so much trying to keep the other team off balance. It's more so, oh no, we're forced to throw now, so let's throw. So I think that could be a little bad, but I think they have proven, like, when they do think they should run the ball, they will definitely run the ball over passing the ball, which I think is probably somewhat of a improvement from last year, where it kind of felt like the opposite, where DiFilippo was kind of looking for an excuse to not run the ball, where it seems like this year we have any people trying to find excuses to not throw the ball. So it's a little as of right now, but I still don't think it's enough to really sound the alarms because they are last in the league with attempts. The next closest, I think, was the Jets with 94 attempts, which is still 30 more than what we have. So we really even haven't seen this yet. We've seen like pretty much 2 games worth of throwing the ball at best through 3 games. And I think this week might be telling because we're facing a more stingy Bears defense. So we're probably going to have to throw more this coming week here. But I just don't see an issue yet just because the run has been working as well as it has. When it stops working, are they going to take advantage of the fact that they're selling out for the run? That's when I want to see whether or not we have an issue here or not. I would like to know your comments down below. Like, subscribe, always helps. Until next time, I bid y'all adieu.